In this lesson, go into your working folder and open up two things. One's called Straighten PSD, and the other one is called multicrop.psd. Go ahead and open up both of those. Let's start with Straighten. Now, I don't know about you, but when I take a photograph, it's always perfectly straight. This photo was taken in India, I believe. It's not straight. So I think I should just get back on a plane for my client and take the photo again. What do you say? How about if we try straightening it? Now, straightening is something we all do. Let me show you some traditional ways and some newer ways to do it. Number one, select the layer that it's in. Go up to the word Edit on the pull-down menu and go down to Free Transform. This would be one way. Come over to a corner, wait for the bent arrow, and visually stop when it's straight and double-click. Now, that will work. We haven't cropped it out up here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me press undo, my favorite key, and start again. Another way, very traditional. Come over here in your eyedropper tool. You have a lot of tools in here. One of them is called the ruler tool. You may know this one. It's been around for years. Select the tool. Now draw what you want to be a straight line. Say right about like that. Okay, I think that's good. Now if it isn't, you can go to a corner and you can move it again. Go up to the word Image on the pull-down menu and go down to Image Rotation and select Arbitrary. Now, in Arbitrary, that number of 3.1 represents the angle on the ruler. It picks that up. Would you like to rotate it clockwise? Typically, it almost always picks up the right rotation. Or counterclockwise. Clockwise is fine. Click OK, and boom, it's done. But we still have a cropping problem, don't we? Well, let's do this. Undo as we move forward in history. Come over here and pick up your cropping tool right there. And you'll see this come around it. Now, you do have a straighten option right here. If you click it, it works like the ruler. Now, if we come over here and click and drag our straight line again and let go, number one, it rotates it based on where we said to rotate it. It's straight. Number two, it says, you know, Andy, you're going to lose stuff on the top, bottom, left, and right. I'm going to give you the ideal crop if you want to use it. And if we double click, you've straightened it out and you have cropped it appropriately. Three different methods. This is the most logical one to use because it works and crops it at the same time. Now let me show you one more thing. Let's close this one out. We don't need it. Let's get off the crop tool. I put these images on my scanner in a helter-skelter kind of way, and I brought them in. Now, I don't usually do that. Let me explain something. If you scan something at an angle, knowing that you can rotate it in Photoshop to get it straight, you will ever so slightly impact the quality of the image, so it does make sense to try to do it straight from the beginning, obviously. But maybe your client gave you this. So here's what your client says. Andy, I put these images on my scanner, and would you do something for me? Would you straighten them and make each one a separate document? And then they say, well, you know, it's no big deal. You got Photoshop. Just click a button. I can't tell you how many times I've had my wonderful clients say things like, well, you've got Photoshop. Just do it. Well, in this case, I've got Photoshop. All I got to do is click a button. Open the document that has the images on it. Now, one thing you want to remember is there needs to be some daylight between the images. That's important. Then go up to the word File on the pull-down menu and go down to Automate and select Crop and Straighten Photos. Now, it's doing it right now. Matter of fact, it's done. And here they are. Each one's in its own separate document. So if you do need to straighten documents, we looked at three ways we can do them one at a time manually. Or if they are actually on, say, a scan, and it's slightly askew, you can use this option to straighten it out with the click of a button. Not too bad.